beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, great colored coops. No, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few, can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. Green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. Can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk.
Thank you, Coach. Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10-71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. This time Jackson will throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Check, check. Too little, cut. He's coming.
Ready?
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He's got a first down past the 30. He's got daylight. The 30. 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, 82 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
And it's third down.
On third down, Jackson. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and it'll bring up third down.
And 6 yards to go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds Beckham, complete. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now he's flushed out left, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Hey, Urban.
Now Anderson to throw on second down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 70 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He'll get this to Eckler. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards there and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That's place to...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Greystone, Travis. Hey, Delta. Check 9, check 9.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got...
He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Santos with the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Escaping the pressure right, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Jackson now off the bootleg. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. It's caught by OBJ. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Jackson operating from the gun. Being chased out left. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Jackson going to throw again. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Again, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. And this is off the left upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. And they take a 17-14 lead. It's a little bit of a trick shot there, but he got it to go.
Yeah, that thing was headed directly for the left upright the entire way, but fortune smiled on him there, and he's able to bank it in.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Anderson. Forced out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete. It's 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Jackson now to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Irv Smith. Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Jackson dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Tavecchio is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Ready?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some second half, and we've got the football. Let's go, and we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Anderson gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Crunch time, defense.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Anderson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Fielded at the 43. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. It's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Eckler. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Fournette, a 1st down, still going. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Jackson on 1st down. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, exit.
Now Anderson. He's got White here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
General West, 60 outlaw. Ricky.
On 1st and 10, Anderson going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 1st down, a run with Cohen. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They try again with Cohen. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play when my quarterback has a chance.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Tariq Cohen with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game, as his guys are back within a single score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is taken near the 13. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards and a Chicago first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. The Bears on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And some room to work. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On third and short, to give it the tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a third down. From the gun, Jackson lets it fly for Thielen. It's caught inside the 25. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
A gain of 6 there on first. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now this time he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Austin Eckler, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Back to throw now on second and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. They find some open field here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. To throw is Anderson. Throwing on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They come out here in the eye.
I'm going to come back to you.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Santos able to tack on the extra point. So with exactly a minute to play, here comes a critical onside kick. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Here's Jamie Gillendow as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular effect.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They say you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist.